Alright, hopefully you can hear me. Hello. I think the update changed a lot of things. Hi. Well, let me just go here for a second. Hello. I'm gonna have to check everything in the audio settings. Just gonna do a quick look. Ah ha ha ha. I thought so. There we go. As you could tell, nothing's set up yet. Hi. Ah. Hopefully y'all didn't wait too long. Oh no, 18 minutes. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. It's a very late start. If you haven't had a chance to see it, I'm slowly chiseling away a avocado bread that my brother made. It's really good. I'm having a hard time not eating it, and I'm gonna try my best to do it in a very clean fashion where the cards are not gonna go ew. Also, apologies to anyone who was hoping to do tarot this past Wednesday. I was in a terrible mental state with the news that was occurring. And I was very pessimistic and down, and I feel like no one really cared about how I think. Which is a very terrible mindset to have, because I'm sure like other people do care about what I think, but like it was a very isolating mental experience, and I was finally able to open up to my family about like how I'm just struggling with this, and eventually I just feel better as I was acknowledged by my family, like, hey, like, we understand where you're coming from. But, you know, they're still going to have, like, a different mindset than I about, like, things that are happening. And I have to respect, you know, their point of view. Don't worry, you know, they still don't approve with what's going on, you know. But, like, they have different angles of viewpoints about the same situation. So, that's something that most of us need to understand as we're trying to heal together as a people, as various people are trying to heal from the hurt that has occurred, to try to understand others, even though we agree on the same issue, like on like how we see the issue, how we tackle it, what the concerns are. They're going to come from different angles. And we just have to respect everyone's different perspectives on the same issue. So long, ultimately, it's generally agreed upon, like, no, this is awful. I've been looking at AP and NPR and their polls just to try to get a better grasp of, like, is it really just me? Is it am I like living in a bubble, you know, that kind of situation, and just trying to get a general broad perspective with what's going on, and even going to like BBC, which I really like the writing style of BBC. NPR is nice. AP is a little bit not really inflammatory, but you know, they do have a bent. You could kind of see the bent, but like it's understandable where they're coming from. But I'm just glad that it's not as isolating as I thought it was from the whole experience. There's a tendency where when you have like media blackouts, you know, when you have media concentrating on one thing and not the other, that you have this feeling of you're alone, or this isolating feeling like you're the only one who's like reacting to this thing. And it's nice to kind of remind yourself, no, you're not. And generally a polling system like that is helpful to see like where the lines are being drawn across the nation, where they're coming from, why they choose, that way, what their perspectives are. Try to get a whole, zoom out from the trees to the whole forest kind of perspective is actually nice and refreshing. So that had helped me from this very dismal, isolating experience. But it started by like opening up and talking to my family and saying like, I'm not doing okay. And I also appreciate my mom like asking me, are you really okay? Are you alright? And I kept saying I'm fine because I was busy. I was trying to like do my writing, but like I wasn't fine. But if you feel that way, I hope you take the chance to like speak up. If not your family, at least your friends, at least let them know like, hey, I know we may not agree on everything on the bullets, but can you at least comfort me? Can you comfort me? Can you like hug me? Can you like let me cry on your shoulder for a little bit? Can I like talk to you for a little bit? So I think that level of empathy is best to look for, if you can't find it in your local area because it's so rural and tiny and not everyone's like there for you. I'm sure there's someone online who's willing to do that too. So I'm just very lucky that I have a very supportive family who's willing to like, even though they bust my balls, even though like they do like challenge me like, hey, let's look at this in different angles, and I respect everyone, everyone's different perspectives. It's nice to know that they care and support me, and that helped me out this week. I didn't want to accidentally misinterpret the cards because of that mindset. The cards would have been okay. I, as the human, would have been the error, and that would have been too huge of an error to do. Something that does come up in astrology also, there's like a electional astrology thing where you could look at the timing of things. And if the querent, aka the person who's asking the question, ask it at a particular time, the astrologer could look and see if this is the right time to answer without any sort of human error. It's like a little bit of a double check to make sure that, you can't give an answer objectively. And so sometimes there would be moments where like, oh no, I can't answer anything, I'm sorry. That's why. At least a long time ago, when people were really actively using astrology for like actual fortunes and such. Nowadays, astrology has been used for kind of like self-exploration type of thing. Examining one's past in order to like grasp the future, or at least perceive how the future is going to flow, and just like try to ride the waves, or like see how it comes, or make some adjustments. That's how it's being used right now, instead of how it was back then, which I don't mind. I don't mind so much. But it's gotten to a point where it becomes its own weird it's not fully analyzed. It becomes this calling card of, oh, I'm under this sign, so thus I'm everything. You know, I'm everything this sign says through my, you know, sun. And there's other planets in your charts arranged in different ways that rounds out your character and your personality. You know, you don't have to do this weird, you know, oh, because they say I do X, so I do this, you know, type of situation. And I can argue there are parts of the personality or different factors of life that is not analyzed or taken into account in astrology charts. I have a tendency to fall into astrology, and then there are times I fall out of astrology simply because of how not precise some of it is. And it can't be that precise. It can be in the timing of things, like certain things can manifest under this umbrella, but if you look at all the other possibilities things could manifest under those conditions, it's a little bit broader than I would expect it to be, or I want it to be, I should say. But it is pretty accurate about like one's perception of the world, you know, how they're approaching a situation depending on what that situation is. So that I do appreciate from astrology. I'm going to put this very nummy avocado bread over there, and I'm going to take care of that. So I'm still kind of setting things up, but it's a lot cleaner now. It's a lot cleaner. Okay, so I normally don't do... Okay, I haven't done tarot readings on Saturdays since 3 months ago? 2 months ago? Since December. There are a few times I have done it. No, wait, I've done tarot on Saturdays before in this year. Okay, I feel like I want to do this. It's really just lining up how I'm feeling right now. And I'm just going to do a message of the day for everyone. There we go. This is going to be fun. Okay, here we go. At the very least this week, despite all the hurdles I have been going through mentally, I was able to progress in my book writing for the third book. And it's really starting to hit me in the feels. I'm one of those people where I cry when I do like some moving parts of the book, and I'm a very emotional person in a way, and I knew I got some really good ones in there that I'm going to massage out in the next few months, and just try to rewrite it where it's more emotionally impactful. Right now, it's just the first draft. It's a little bit messy, and it's just making me nervous how messy things are. Goodness, this is just loud. Okay, there we go. So, I'm just glad I'm progressing very well with the writing, and it's finally like coming through where even I get teared up about the story, and I'm just really, really happy about that. Also, someone like reviewed on Amazon, and finally, I've been waiting for someone to review on Amazon, and it finally happened, and I'm just blown away by the positive review that they have done, and I'm pretty happy. I'm really, really happy. I woke up this morning and saw it, and I feel like I'm doing something right. So, if you happen to be a reader of the Doppelganger Queen, please do go out and give reviews. Whether it's on Amazon, whether it's on Goodreads, whether it's on Storygraph, wherever you do give good reviews, they help me mentally in some shape and form. And they also help other readers understand what they're about to dive into when they get into the story. This is one of those where it has a tendency to grab you by the neck and yank you and pull you along. And some readers are going to like that, and some readers won't. And just having that knowledge up front is going to help some readers understand whether this book is going to be a good fit for them or not. I'm just going to have some more of this. Okay, message of the day. I feel like 6. Let's say if we're going to get 6. And I'm just not going to pop the cards out of the deck. I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle it in this way. And just deal from the top. Welcome back, everyone, from the ads. Thank you so much for your patience if you happen to be here. Gonna do message of the day. I'm gonna deal out 6 cards. And I'm just gonna read the cards one at a time. And if that is the message that works with you, maybe that's advice that you needed to hear at this moment, whether it's live or at the VOD. And if there's a message from the cards that don't really seem to click for you, don't worry about it. It's not meant for you to hear. It's meant for someone else. So don't force it. If it's not clicking for you. Okay, so we have, if I can read upside down, the Wrath of Love, okay, it's specified. Okay, listen to the moon. A most prosperous perfection. These violent delights, her pale fire, and last but not least, something rich and strange. Okay, we don't get this card often, but I've seen the other cards before. Okay. Alright, let's dive into it. I'm going to go ahead and go bottom up. Here, 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 etc. So we're going to go with this first. And that is number 8. The Wrath of Love. Open your heart, drop your defenses. Love has hurt you. Now you are on a mission to hurt love back. Tragically, both humans and fairies can fall prey to the impulse to lash out at those we most care, or even to preemptively punish those we would perceive as potentially withholding the love, support, admiration, or approval we desire. In romance, we become jealous, or perhaps our partner says something in a tone we hear as truculent. No, that's not how you say it. Truculent. Truculent, sarcastic, or dismissive. We might even be responding to a relationship that has long passed, and our old pattern is resurfacing in another guise. Instead of allowing our tenderness to be seen and felt, which might help us heal the confusion at the root, we escalate the situation to an all-out war by insulting, rejecting, or avoiding the very one we care for. It is especially unfortunate when you actively desire love. Yet, because you've been so hurt or disappointed by love in the past, you see all would-be suitors through a veil of suspicion, and therefore reject them, attack them, or even avoid meeting them altogether. The same pattern can be at work in friendships, social situations, and any personal, career-related, or creative pursuit in which you will like your essence to be noticed and admired. And we will all like our essence to be noticed and admired. Such preemptive defensiveness happens when you cannot open your heart wide enough to let yourself be seen, because you fear that if you do, you will only be wounded and excluded once again, which you believe will be too much pain for you to bear. Yet you do not realize that you have become the one who's doing the rejecting. You may think others are being cold to you, yet it could be more accurate to say that you're being cold to them. Perhaps they are responding to your chilliness in kind, or maybe you're projecting an imagined tone or attitude onto them and mistaking your impression for absolute reality. If you choose to, you can spend an entire lifetime in the wrath of love. But if you truthfully want companionship and camaraderie you profess to, you must leave your poison arrows behind. Okay, so let's go ahead and unpack this. It kind of hurts when our loved ones, our family members, will say things to us that we don't approve or don't agree with. And it's even harder when we feel like we're not getting the support that we wanted. I was reading a news article how some National Park Ranger services are returning back to their homes and their families and friends and seeking, some sort of comfort or like some sort of support and like helping them emotionally deal with this job loss, something they built their entire career towards, something that you have been, you know, cultivating for years and years, and they've been met with, no, I agree that you should lose your job because it's been an excess and it's been a waste, and they would even applaud, you know, the situation at hand. And it creates this weird sense of, oh, because you think my job was a waste, I happen to be the waste in your eyes, I happen to be excess, you know, you don't consider me valuable. So it's kind of hard to get out of that mindset when someone says that to them or does that to them. So something similar could be happening to others on that sense. You may not be a national park ranger, you know, losing your job, but you could be. But a lot of people could be feeling that way from their family members when they're going through this unexpected loss or this unexpected hardship that has befallen them. Things had fallen through, this drastic restructuring that is occurring, and you realize, hey, you know, like, I'm hurt. Why are you not being there for me? So I think this is advice for those who feel that way, who feel that other people will just dismiss them out of hand simply because, you know, these political differences. And they would say something or do something that's very offhand. They didn't think things through. And because we're already wounded from what has occurred, it just festers. Because we're not getting that level of love and support that we're seeking and looking for. The advice is not to, you know, let things go. It's not that. It's trying to come together in a truce, trying to come together for some sort of mutual understanding that, hey, I get that you politically support this, but I'm hurt. You know, I need support because this hurts me. Hi, Lorenzo DeBoss. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. I'm doing a message of the day before I kick off the rest of the stream. And we're just starting with this card. So it's okay to feel what you feel, but if you really want to continue to see companionship with these people, do let them know, but let them know without that sort of, without insulting, without throwing fists or hands or whatnot, you know, try to be civil in trying to explain your emotional needs. And if they're not willing to do that, it's okay to go find someone else who will provide that emotional need for you. Wrong emote. Are you sure? Are you sure? I really love the chainsaw bear. I love the chainsaw bear. That's so cute. I love it. I also like the dancing one, but I don't know. I think the chainsaw bear is a little dangerous, and I don't mind a little bit of danger right now. Welcome in. Arise, the bear army! Arise! So, just think on it. It's something I have felt earlier this week. I was looking for that same type of emotional support, and I felt like I was disregarded, and it really took me to a really dark place. And eventually I was able to let them know, hey, I'm not really doing okay. And I was able to get that love and support from them, and that's all I was really wanting. I encourage you to seek out for support. You know, if it's not going to be from them, it's going to be from someone. And I highly encourage that, so that way you can heal your wounds. Okay. And try to come at them without that fire and anger if you want to continue to have that relationship. Okay, we're going to move on to card number 2. Card number 2, listen to the moon. Allow ups and downs. Honor your cycles. You will always wax and wane. In the morning, you might feel universal delight, while at night, even fireflies may not give you a thrill. Perhaps on Monday, everybody loves you, but by Friday, no one remembers your name. In May, you could be the uncontested master of your trade, but by November, the world has changed, and you are an apprentice once more. Progress is not actually predictable. You would be wise to consider yourself lucky that this is so, as a ploddingly upward or forward trajectory will be an abomination, a brutal destruction of wonder, mystery, and delight. After a summer of romance and magic, the leaves fall from the trees. In time, the bear sleeps, the streams freeze over, and frost dusts the earth like sugar. Some years, a great blanket of snow piles up, and other years, the snow is less forthcoming. Then one day, we can't say which, a bear awakes, birds sing, leaves grow, and wind whispers through them. Did I say bear? The water melts and the streams flow, and summer comes again. The same cycle as last year, but by no means the same at all. Similarly, the moon expands, contracts, disappears, then expands again. She dances to her own spiraling song. Sometimes the clouds curtain her, other times she is wreathed in a rainbow. From Earth, we never see her far side. She never reveals all. She keeps her own counsel. She's always an enigma. And yet, when you get very quiet, you will hear her whisper. You will hear her bid you to rest when you are tired and dance when you're wound up. She will urge you to show your face when feeling social and to hide it when you are shy. She will assure you that whether you feel wonderful or terrible, or anywhere in between, the feeling will certainly pass and transform into something else. She will speak to you of ancient magics, and if you need them, she will tell you how to cast spells that will restore delight, reawaken dormant wisdom, or revive a frozen heart. She will declare to you that no paths are straight. All paths are crooked and double back on themselves. She will also remind you that true success and authentic riches dwell within your own unique experience and have nothing to do with how other people measure or perceive you. Listen to the moon. Wow. I get where she's coming from. I had hit that moment in my book, in my third book, where I'm re-walking old ground. For those who don't know, the third book are pieces that I pulled away from the second book. It was a side story, and I decided to pull it out and make it its own book. You're also writing a book! Congratulations! I hope it goes well. So that third book, I'm filling in the gaps, and I'm trying to make sure what is there is rewritten so that way the story flows. Who do you choose, the bear or the man? Who's really the monster? It's like a whole Beauty and the Beast thing. But I'm the type of person who I do think in like a linear fashion of progress. It's how I kind of keep myself accountable when it comes to my writing. Like, oh yeah, I achieved 2,000 words today. That's my goal. I could stop now and rest, that kind of mentality. But because this book had pieces of the puzzle that's already set, my progress looks a lot different now, where I'm going through the old writing and making sure that things are working right, even though I'm not making a lot of progress word count wise. Sometimes I have to remove some text and deleted it, and I get back down to like I lose like so many words because of that deletion, but I have to in order to make the story good. And it just reminds me of what I was going through, where I was feeling a little bit down because I feel like, silly enough, I felt like I was not making progress, even though I was doing this, incredible amount of work reshaping what was already there. And I wish I could try to get rid of that mentality. It's really hard. So I guess maybe I should take the advice to listen to the moon, try to rest when I need to rest, and try to work when I do need to work, and try not to think in such a linear fashion about like what that progress is. I also feel like this is kind of going in line with what I was saying with the previous card, where how we perceive ourselves and our progress in life. We have a tendency of seeing our careers in a linear fashion where it keeps going up as we lay down the years in this company or position or whatever it is, this upward momentum that happens in our career, which is understandable if you're a very career-minded person. And there's a lot of people now who are let go or changing jobs or changing sectors or even changing professions, feel like, oh wow, I'm back at square one again, and kind of like dismiss all the experience they had accumulated from this past career because they're looking at, wow, I had to start over. You're not really starting over from zero, at least from what, this card is saying. You are starting over from a level 10 or maybe a level 30, and you're heading to a new trajectory from that plateau. You're not actually at zero. So I think that's something to consider, how we perceive ourselves can be a little bit toxic, and maybe we should give ourselves a little bit of grace, and allow ourselves to be on or off and understand that not everything is all as linear as we thought it should be. Let me go ahead and close my door so I'm not so loud. I'm not disturbing the rest of my family. I want to ask Lorenzo, what kind of book are you writing? Is it fantasy? Mystery? Horror? Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I honestly forgot. I forgot it's International Women's Day. I've been so working hard. I lose track of time. For a while there, I've been staying up to like 3 a.m. a couple of nights. And last night I stayed up to like 1 a.m. And no, I stayed up to 2 a.m., but I wasn't working all the way up to 2 a.m. And I saw, the date on the calendar, and this morning I didn't register it at all today. Um, Honestly, we should make a protest today for International Women's Day. Um, yeah, something to think about. Card number 2s. If that really is resonating with you, I hope that helps. 13. You do horror! Awesome! Horror is fun to do. I do a little bit of horror, not a lot, just a little bit. I trickle here and there in my fantasy books and in my speculations. I like a little bit of body horror. I like the gothic horror, dealing with supernatural elements. That's kind of where I am right now. A most prosperous perfection. Splatterpunk. Oh, so it's really gory. Okay. Well, a lot of people have a hard time with horror to begin with. You will find your audience who would appreciate what you do. Don't worry. Just keep at it. You will find your niche, your group. Yeah. How do I explain it? There's a lot of horror authors in my circle. I do dark fantasy. And I also am friends with a lot of fantasy writers too. I'm slowly gathering my people on Blue Sky. I need to follow some more people. So if I haven't followed people that I had on Instagram or Threads, just watch out. I will take some time to do it. I just haven't done it because I'm so busy. But yeah, I'm slowly gathering my community of gamers and writers. Oh yeah, you followed. You're good. But I'm more than willing to be supportive to anyone who is just getting started. Okay, let's get into this third card. So that way we leave some time for anyone who wants personal request. Expect abundance. Appreciate beauty and blessings. Monetary wealth and general abundance are on the horizon for you now. To usher in these blessings with the greatest possible ease, conjure a sense of expansive gratitude and present moment opulence. When you delight in the bounty and beauty surrounding you, you will naturally attract even more of the same. The simplicity of this axiom makes it no less true. You become wealthier when you appreciate the wealth you already have. Your physical body alone is a luxurious gift. When you pay attention to your senses and make a point of enjoying textures, colors, tastes, sounds, scents, environments, musics, and just the electric aliveness of being in a body, you are, of course, instantly rewarded with pleasure. But you also open up magical channels to receiving more and more such pleasurable rewards. It is true that in your human culture, the topics of wealth and luxury are burdened with complex layers of painful narratives. Stories of scarcity, class, greed, entitlement, hunger, guilt, envy, and disenfranchisement. In many cases, these stories are not just stories. They're also real experiences of poverty, inequality. Let me sneeze this. There we go. And antiquated religious programming and crushing injustice. You may have had such experiences yourself, or your ancestors may have passed some of this lingering horrors to you. You can honor the truth of these past experiences without unwittingly allowing them to hold you back from receiving the abundant flow of resources that is your due. First, allow yourself to become conscious of the challenging emotions and beliefs you harbor about wealth and success. For example, notice if you feel resentment towards people with more money than you have. If you believe it is intrinsic to your identity to struggle financially, or if you believe that wealth requires a backbreaking amount of work. Look for any and all stories that may be paving the way for disempowerment, and write them down. Then question them, dismantle them, and compose new different stories about wealth that empower you rather than keep you saddled with lack. Also look for the wealth you already have. The clean water that runs through your pipes, the roof over your head, the food in your kitchen, and the clothes you especially love to wear. Even if your current bank account is relatively small, see if you feel grateful for the money you do have. Also look for or cultivate a feeling of bounty when you laugh, spend time with loved ones, and engage in activities you enjoy. Finally, be careful not to measure your wealth against the wealth of others using external indicators of status. The definition of wealth is not the degree to which you can impress others with fancy, stylish, and expensive things. Wealth is simply knowing that your own intrinsic standards of comfort, stability, and enjoyment, you have enough. Okay, so the wealth she's talking about is the wealth of comfort. Being able to live a life, not of luxury, but to live in comfort and security. Knowing that you don't have to worry about moving to another place. Knowing that you don't have to worry about having to worry about when the next meal is, stuff like that. You have the type of resource you have now to sustain you. And also talking about class issue divides, Yes, there's a lot of issues going on right now about in America, billionaires are taking over the government type of thing. But that doesn't mean you should neglect yourself from what you are valuable as in your field of work or the art that you produce. You should not sell yourself short just because you don't want to be like these monstrously wealthy, negative people, You shouldn't torture yourself by that. Or compare yourself to such standards and reject it entirely because it can bring you a little bit of ease and comfort and allow you to share a little bit of joy with your loved ones, that type of thing. So I think that's what the approach is coming from this book, trying to break it down, and also breaking down jealousy. Is it really about jealousy that we're dealing with this, or is it like a true class, injustice that we're analyzing and notifying? Because there is a difference between acknowledging class divide and they have more than me, so I hate them. Okay, so there's a real difference between the two. Classism is about ostracizing and isolating others from participating in something simply because they don't have that level of wealth to join in the party. And also other systemic things in our institutions that keep people poor, that prevent, an easy life for the middle class, and bloating the rich, so that type of systemic injustice should be analyzed. But we also need to remove this emotion of jealousy, because that's not helpful in tackling these issues. Because there's always going to be a bigger fish. It's not about being the bigger fish. It's about justice and equality. Not putting barriers because someone looks different from you, or someone drives a different car than you, etc. So if you're feeling this, if you want to analyze it, this would be a good time to journal it and explore it a little bit further. What does that mean to you? And if that really resonates with you, I think that would be an interesting deep dive for you all to take. Ads are going to kick in pretty soon. So I'm just going to pause here for a second. And I'm going to enjoy my avocado bread. There's a lot of layers to that card. I'm not going to be able to go through all the layers, but I agree wholeheartedly what that card was talking about. There's a major misconception that now that I'm an author, I have a published book, I'm suddenly rich. And it's a wild misconception that people make. And it takes a while to generate the revenue that comes from, publishing a book. In a way, it's an investment that accrues. If you want to look at it, financial terms. I really love making stories. I love sharing it, and I'm glad that, most people like it as they read it. Where was I going? But, it's going to be very slow, generating, my due for putting this out there in the world, and there's this weird mentality that like, ooh, yeah, you're wealthy now, you're famous, and I'm going to treat you a little bit differently because of this. And I'm like, I'm just a normal person. I just made a story. I put it out there. I'm not like suddenly a goddess, please. Right, exactly. Like, I do it for fun. I do like to get paid for it. But it's not... There's a misconception that now you're suddenly rich or like you're amazing, and it's like, no. Like, thank you so much for your support, I appreciate it, but don't inflate my head. Let's keep the ego in check here and try to be a little bit more realistic. I do feel like the society is not really nice and kind and supportive to like artists. Okay. There's a real, weird sense of idolizing the artist and their work and telling the artist that they're a bum and they need to get a job. There's a huge divide in mentality there, unless you are a creative yourself. And then you like see, things without rosy shades. What is status, what is wealth, it's not really all up to snuff, compared to like how people held in their standards. I think the third book or sixth book, eventually things do accrue where you can like do stuff with it. But right now I expect to get about like $15 per month from here on out. That's kind of like what I'm seeing right now, just right off the bat. And it's kind of wild I'm seeing that much right now for like just one book being out there. It's just wild to think about, because almost nothing really comes through unless like the third book hits. So it's not an overnight sensation, but it does take time. And that's like the reality of the book industry, whether it's traditional or indie. So yeah, any questions people have about this one? I think this is a wonderful journal response or journal prompt for some people if it really hits them hard about like wealth and status. You know, what does that mean? Can I separate my jealousy and look at it in a very objectional manner? Overall, I think that everyone should strive for comfort, whatever that comfort level is. You know, be grateful for what they have. Something I do need to keep in mind myself. Okay, these violent delights. This is going to be next. We're halfway through. Oh, the 4 HP is for 4 Horsemen, my publisher. I'm going to change that code because I realize how it means something else, and I was not thinking when I put that together. So I need to change that in Nightbot pretty soon for 4 HP to 4 Horsemen, because that's my publisher. Okay, these violent delights. See through the drama and games. You have been drawn into a drama. Does it mean anything bad? Well, I could get into it. But for us millennials, it's like a battleground. Don't worry about it if you don't know. It's all good. Forget about it. You have been drawn into a drama, something seductive, exciting, and dark. Perhaps you haven't realized there was a form of beauty in this because you have only focused on the drama's requisite heartbreak and discord, but the beauty is there. Sometimes we actually crave drama in order to inject a little excitement into life. This is not a judgment. In fact, life would be half-lived if it didn't contain at least a little some delectable enchantment and pain. But the message here is that conditions are unstable. As they are, they certainly cannot hold. Someone may be drawing someone else into a lovely trap. Are you the trapper or the trapped? Most likely a little of both, but take heed. If things continue as they are, a glorious shipwreck could be ahead. One day you might reminisce, smile, and say, it happened, it was awful, but it was lovely too in its own way, and then it was over. Or perhaps you would prefer to prolong or preserve something here by establishing more sustainable conditions. If the latter is the case, you have work to do to transform this situation or relationship into one that will happily and joyfully last. Even still, you may not succeed. In fact, it may be better for you to look elsewhere for stability, to take what you will from this experience and move on to the next. Provided engaging in this drama is not truly dangerous to your body, mind, or spirit, feel free to stay with it as long as it thrills and entices you. It will probably not last much longer anyway, so you might as well live it up. But if engaging in this drama does put you in some form of danger, or if you just grow weary of being in such an unsustainably elevated milieu, get out. Lovely. I love how, these houses or these cards, speak to me. Get out. It's like the walls could speak, you know? They speak to me. Run while you can. I love this character, this house. It's like a chainsaw massacre, you know? It's a wonderful personality, yeah. Another reason to put a stop to this situation would be if you're mistreating someone or cruelly playing with other emotions. If you're not acting with integrity, other areas of your life will surely suffer. You will do well to change your approach so that you act with greater honor and impeccability, even if that requires you to apologize or admit you have been dishonest or behaved untowardly. As the great bard wrote, these violent delights have violent ends. If you aren't ready for an ending, you must find a steadier pace and navigate toward calmer waters. I see this card pop up for those who are engaged with such dramas. And more likely they're an active participant, probably putting a little bit of spice in that drama, if you will. So do take heed and honestly look at how you are participating in this and whether this is something you should continue to do. And like double check to see like if this is too dangerous for you to continue. So something to think about. I mean, it's not entirely wrong. Life does need a little mix of drama, you know. That's why we have stories, okay? Life is a little too stale for not to, but you also need to be respectful for other people's dignity and whatnot. Don't be the hater. Just play the game. Just make sure it's not game over for you. That's probably the best way of saying it. So, for those that really resonate and are really just like, ooh, I could feel that, you know, do consider it. Do take some time to think on it, you know, this weekend. Okay, so, next one. We're almost there if y'all want personal readings. Her Pale Fire is next. $39. Rest, relax, receive. Okay, so this is kind of lining up with the listen to the moon. The sun blazes and burns, sending its blinding expanse of light to the earth. The moon does no such thing. It sits passively, soaking in light from the sun, which it then reflects to us in gentle, mystical rays of healing, nourishment, balance, magic, and restorative rest. Take a lesson from the moon. If you're looking for an answer to a question about what to do, stop thinking. Rest instead. Find mindful presence and abiding calm. Then, when the time is right, your answer will arise unbidden. And you will know what to do, not just in your mind, but also in your body and spirit. If there is something specific you want, relationship, object, condition, or outcome, stop chasing after it or wearing yourself out with frenzied activity. Much like the moon who passively absorbs the radiant light she calmly shares with the world, staying still and cultivating quiet receptivity is the dynamic that will effectively allow you to drop that which you desire into your life experience. When you chase a cat, you will never catch it. When you sit still and relax, the cat will jump on your lap and happily cuddle up. Stop chasing the cat. Just in case the rest of the message isn't clear enough, here's another analogy. Make yourself some tea. Relax. Take a deep breath. Enjoy your cozy environment. Look out the window at the sky and take a deep breath. Slowly and extravagantly inhabit your body. Perhaps establish even more comfort and even more luxury if you wish. Let go of extraneous tasks and responsibilities. Revel in your own unique beauty. Smile to yourself and enter into stillness, silence, and space. Take time to take care of yourself and savor the sense that you have all the time in the world. When you stop desperately searching, ruminating, and pursuing, everything you've been looking for will find you. I need to take a break. Oh. Let's skip this one. Here we go. That's very loud and very clear, and if you are needing permission to take a break, here's your hall pass. Take it. This is your hall pass to take a break. Here you go. Take your time to wash your hands. No, I'm joking. I need to hear this. I've been working pretty hard. I've been staying up late. So I feel this. If you have been dealing with burnout, as this picture denotes, this is burnout here. If you're feeling that, do take a time out of your hustle. Dedicate one day to just chill and do nothing. No social media, no nothing. And I think you will find how recharged you are just from that one day of being off. I learned this the hard way, and I never want to go back. I mean, I know I can if I want to, but I never want to go back to where I've been pushing myself so much, where I'm physically hurting myself. So, take a break. Last but not least, sorry. Oh, jeez, do y'all hear that? That, like, really squishy sound that came out of my mouth? I'm so sorry. Y'all had to hear that. It's springtime here. The pollen count is really high right off the bat because there's a bunch of oaks. And I have become more susceptible to oak pollen. Fun, I know. And it's just being a butt. So I apologize for the low quality of a performance I've been giving. Okay, something rich and strange. Last but not least. Access the infinite, dissolve into oneness. Okay, so we're going to get a little bit deep here. Even when you present human body, let me start over. Even when your present human body perishes and dissolves into dust, your eternal soul will survive. The radiant light that carries you through dimensions and lifetimes is indestructible. It's beyond the very fabric of time and space. It was never born and it will never die. Never born in this material realm, and it will never die because of it. That's what she meant. The same is true for all sentient beings. All are one with the One. Identify now with your true eternal self, rather than your illusory, transient, temporary self. Draw upon the power of your soul's infinite light. Transcend limitation and find peace by remembering who you really are. If a loved one is no longer in the physical form you knew them, or if a loved one is about to transition out of this realm into the next, connect with that loved one's eternal self. Know in your heart that you will not be separated, because you never were and never could be. You are as inextricably connected as rays of sunlight or waves on the sea. The convincing appearance of your mortality means you are destined to suffer and grieve. This is what it means to be incarnated into form. No matter how hard you try, you will feel the pain of your seeming separation. But the more you identify with your infinite nature, your soul's pure light that is one with divine light, the more freedom, wisdom, comfort, and power you will find. Hi, Captain Johnny. Welcome in. How are you doing? This is a bit of a deep reading. Learn to live on both levels, the finite, like this one, and the eternal, aka the spirit. It is like watching a play. The world of the play has its own relative reality, its plot, its setting, and its characters, in which you choose to invest for your own temporary enjoyment. But simultaneously, your reality is larger, more real, and more inclusive than the play. You will care about what happens in the drama, but you know it's only for a limited number of acts. And once those acts are complete, the lights will come up and the world of the play will fade. Employ the same dynamic in your fleeting mortal life. Be invested in the character you are playing and the friends, lovers, and foes that surround you in your earthly revels. But don't be so invested that you don't know, all the while, that these revels most certainly will end. The thin air, the pure light, the infinite being, into which the actors melt, is the divine mind, with which you and I and everyone and everything are one. There will come a day in the finite realm when we will not leave a wreck behind. But we will not truly be gone. We will be like we always were, infinite. Okay. So this card is just a reminder. A little reminder that this is temporary. This is a temporary show. You do have something internal within you. And that is the one thing that is true no matter like all philosophies, all religions. Your consciousness does continue. It does carry on. You just happen to be here in this moment. As the book had said, take the form. So, it's okay to grieve. It's okay to feel pain. And it's understandable that you would be concerned about like what's going on here in this world. Understandably, this world is changing rapidly. But don't think that, what's going on here is eternal. Because, everything's very transitory in this plane of existence. Weather is very transitory. So is the very earth that we stand on. You know, it has changed dramatically from thousands of years. And it will change drastically 1,000 years later. You know, civilization will change dramatically. People move around. So while we care about what's going on in our daily lives, nothing's really set in stone. And it's okay to feel the loss and pain of it, but also there's a sense of relief that you know that it's okay, you know, because some of this stuff, like pain, is temporary and it does go away after a while. It's a very Buddhist, not Buddhist, well, maybe Buddhist, it's a very Eastern mindset of things are in transit. It's a very hard concept to grasp in the Western world, which I think this card puts it very well in a very delicate manner that I really appreciate. And just because things are transitory doesn't mean that it's useless or that, you know, it should be disregarded just because it is a temporary thing. It is still valuable, but we just can't take it for granted. I think that's one thing that we need to like consider. We should not take some things for granted. Okay. And we shouldn't take things for granted that we think that's always going to be there. And we shouldn't be in this mindset of doom. That, oh, this is happening right now, it will always be this way. You know. There's the good and bad in that mindset. If that makes sense. So I hope that helps you if you're feeling that kind of pain and loss right now. So a little bit of a downer at the end of the reading, but I think these cards are very kind in what they're saying here. If you need to take a break, take a break. You are valuable. And while you're thinking about value, let's examine some things while we're at it. And let's try to look at ourselves and everyone around us in a very more objective manner. Which is really hard to do right now. Even I cannot do it. Okay. So I'm just going to chill here. I know that was pretty intense near the end of the reading. So if y'all want to chit-chat for a little while, I don't mind. I certainly will be. But yeah, I will be open to any personal request. Let me go ahead and put this down. Oh, wait. This is it, yeah. So, if y'all have channel points, you are welcome to use your channel points to get a reading. Just make sure you don't dox yourself or someone else by dropping a name there. This will go up on YouTube, and YouTube's a very wide audience. I won't have the time to like sift through the content to like edit things out. That's just the reality of the situation. Some people do, I just don't have the time. I definitely felt connected to the first few cards. Take a break. I didn't feel it as strongly, but I thought, maybe I should. because I've been pushing myself so hard this week on my writing. If y'all can't tell, I'm a bit of a workaholic. I'm gonna eat some of this avocado here. Oh, ads may be kicking in a minute if y'all are willing to wait through the ads. Once again, if y'all need readings, it would be through the channel point system. You don't have to. If you don't want to. I know I have a whole bunch of stuff there in the channel points. I wonder if I need to, like, minimize it, you know? It's something I've been thinking about for a while. I know some people were coming in and were disappointed that I was doing a group reading. You want to? Okay. Sorry. I just don't want to pressure anyone to do anything. That's totally understandable. I get that. Well, you know what? Tell me what you need. And maybe I could find something that's really close and just go from there. That's one thing I kind of miss from the channel point system, is that I'm kind of confined to the spread system. And sometimes it's kind of hard to do like any sort of organic spreads that I need to do. Oh, you know what you don't need. Okay. I know I want chocolate, but I don't need chocolate. That's how I'm feeling right now. Oh, thank you for the redeem. A generous spread. Any particular question or just... And we'll see how it is. Okay, let's do a check-in. Any sort of advice right now that you need to hear of a particular situation? What do you need? You know, like, oh, you're not working right now? You're done with your homework? You're bored? Okay, I have something for you to do. I hear that often when I was growing up. So you pretend to be busy with something. I don't hate it, but it's always suspicious. When I will cut the cards and it's like very less in my hand, I'm like, oh, okay, let's go ahead and shuffle this some more. And then I finally feel this, I'm done now. That was the set I need to shuffle in. It's like, okay, that's nice. Like, I trust your cards. Okay, so you're dealing with some form of deception and lies. This is all reversed to me. You know, this is upside down, these two here. This is upside up to me. So you're dealing with a lot of lies, deceptions, cruel words being spouted out, insults, jeers, etc. Not surprising at all. You know, the way things are going on right now. It's just a very hateful environment, whether it's social, online, or like dealing with our neighbors that are just out of pocket. I feel like it is coming from a woman that has very low emotional intelligence, which is probably why they're like saying stuff like this, or at least not really a woman, but like someone with feminine qualities that is perpetuating this type of stuff. Or not really. Someone who should know better. Someone who has that mothery, nurturing quality that should have had the wisdom of care or empathy, and they're just not. And they're just saying stuff like that. So I feel like that's what's going on. I'm trying my best not to be so binary with these cards. And it's a very bad habit of mine. I'm going to look at this. If that was your boss. I'm going to look at the advice part. Because it is the Knight of Wands. It wants you to take action and do something about it. But I want to double check what kind of person this Queen of Cups is and the Knight of Wands. Just a little bit more. Because it's someone that should be empathetic and sympathetic. Someone who should have that already locked in, and they just don't. Oh, just someone emotionally unavailable. Okay, well. Someone who's unemotionally not available, despite knowing them for a long time. And they seem to be frozen emotionally. Probably due to loss or trauma or some other matter. That's right. This is someone who is very bitter from trauma. Someone who has experience in the past things not going the way they want things to go. And that made them very bitter at heart. And they have a tendency to take things out on others, or be very passive aggressive about things, or just be emotionally frozen or stunted, where they're not willing to give any sort of empathy or care to someone else, because they feel like, why should I? Because the world didn't care about me. The world didn't care about my needs. Why should I care about someone else? You know, so this is someone's mentality here, not necessarily a feminine quality, but you know how tarot sometimes go a little binary. So someone of that nature, and I'm pretty sure they're the ones who are doing these insults and or lies, and it's just kind of hard to punch through it, because this is someone, you know, it's a Queen of Cups, you know, this is someone that is in a position of well regard, You know, someone that you expect them to have enough life experience to be wise, you know, and they're just not allowing themselves to like get that support that you're looking for. So Knight of Wands, how do we handle this? And I don't think it's saying beat them with a club. You know, I'm pretty sure it's not that. Because I know Knight of Wands is about like taking action, you know, that kind of thing. Okay. Well, you're going to laugh at this. It's saying to relocate. If this is an environment that is not beneficial for you, it is okay to relocate. It could also be people from my past bad mouthing again, but it's nearly 2 years ago at this point. They're not in my life anymore. Oh, okay, so something clicked. So usually the Wands is about adventure, not just combat. Going forth in new, you know, traveling to new worlds, new places, etc. And the Knight of Wands is also about, if you want to, you can take a trip. You can travel to a new home and location. So that is what they're advising. It's just going to take some time to get there eventually. So it is confirming this is the right way to go. I doubt this person is ever going to get into their mindset of like changing and opening up where they stop doing something like this. You know, where they're creating like such a headache. You know, where they're not willing to give a pass or not willing to give some measure of grace or like an extension or whatnot. They're just really cold-hearted about it. So if you need to relocate to a new job or new home or whatever it is, this is just confirming that's the best way to go, because you're not going to convince them, you know, to be an open-hearted person. And that's something that's going to take time when they finally look in the mirror and realize, wow, I need to stop doing this. And that's going to be a them thing. There's nothing that you or anyone else is going to do. They're going to have to sit with that hate and figure out why they're so bitter. Yeah, so it's just saying look out for new opportunities, seek out those new opportunities, keep looking for those that will pop up, whether it's a new job or a new location to go to. It's okay to like keep looking for those things. So it's just letting you know that's totally valid and the right thing to do. Yeah. So I hope that makes sense. And since you're a VIP, I'm going to start doing this for VIPs because it is an emote. I'm going to go ahead and give you all a card too. Oh, awesome. This is hard. Okay, I'm going to have to like do it in this way. I'm just going to figure out which one it is. Okay, it's not this. Okay, it's this. Okay, we have make not your thoughts your prisons. This is really hard to see. So let's go ahead and like look at how beautiful this card is. There's a lot of thin line art here that's really hard to like perceive with the other camera. It doesn't have the resolution like this one does. So that's what it's showing here on this card. Really cool how they do it. Make not your thoughts your prisons. Free yourself from limiting stories. Your mind is detaining you in a cage of its own making. You are tied up in intricate, beautiful chains of thought. But just as you have unknowingly imprisoned yourself in these illusions, now you can knowingly set yourself free. If it's not apparent what thoughts are posing as handcuffs, chains, or prison bars, ask yourself, what trap do I seem to be in? How is my cage showing up in my inner or outer world? Do I seem to be in a situation I don't like? Is there a particular worry or thought pattern I can't seem to get out of my mind? Perhaps you feel as if you do something you don't want to or be someone you don't want to be. Examine your beliefs and identify the ways you are unnecessarily limiting your freedom. Sometimes you believe you can read other people's thoughts and then you feel constrained or drained by what you imagined they are thinking about you or wanting from you. You see someone looking at you sideways, or you feel certain that they are judging you or finding you lacking, when it's just likely that they're quietly admiring your hair. Or you mentally go over and over something you said, believing that you accidentally offended someone by how you phrased something when it's highly possible they were never at the least bit offended at all. As intuitive as you may be, you're not impartial enough to accurately guess what others are thinking about you. So you may as well get out of the habit of trying. Not to mention, a queen must be who she is and behave as she behaves. Not everyone will approve, and some will indeed be offended. But to reign effectively over your realm, you must learn to put aside your worried imaginings about what others are thinking. It's not your job to be a mind reader. Trust others to speak up on their own behalf. And if you feel compelled to know what they're actually thinking, use your voice and ask. Social expectations and norms, too, can work their way into your mind and proceed to behave like a jail. Your human culture is a maelstrom of brightly deceptive magic. Wicked poetry and visions that steal your power by making you believe you're too large, too small, too old, too young, too beautiful, too plain, or some other despicable lie. Again, we have lies. You can be kind and respectful to others without minimizing who you are. I'm going to repeat that. You can be kind and respectful to others without minimizing who you are, or denying what you want. And you can be fully present in your culture without falling hopelessly under its spell. There is no scenario, however, in which you will please or placate everyone, and it's certainly the case here in this situation. If you attempt to do so, you will only succeed in driving yourself mad. Which is why they're saying it's okay to leave. It's okay to relocate and go elsewhere. Make not your thoughts your prisons. Make your thoughts your wings and ascend. So let's go ahead and just make it plain. Whatever crap she's saying, it's crap. I know that, this whole country has been so backwards. Like they took a full 180 in some locations. And some people are like wanting to like hop on that bandwagon. That doesn't mean that it's right or just or it's actually true or okay. But people do it anyway. And you can't let those people get under your skin and where you're absorbing some of this information and thinking maybe I am the problem. You're not the problem. These people aren't. You're totally fine and valid in creating a family, creating a secure home, just living your life, having a job, being alive and doing it on your own terms. So anyone who feels that they have to do something to disrupt that by whatever standard or definition or label, whatever it is that they have that gives them an excuse to do harm to others, it's not something that they're valid in doing. Okay, it's not okay. And you shouldn't try to absorb some of that information and think maybe it's a me problem. It's definitely a them problem. Hate to say it. But it's true. Some of these people are downright bigoted. So you don't try to fight them because they're going to reap what they sow. What's best is your own peace of mind and your own comfort. So while you are trying your best to find a new place and continue to look for new opportunities to do so, I strongly suggest taking some time to deprogram any hatred that trips you up mentally from all these hateful people. I'm too southern. I'm sorry. That's a very hard way of saying it. But we have a tendency to absorb what some people say, and even though we disagree with it, it has a way of wiggling under our skin and make us second guess ourselves. And that kind of second guessing tends to interfere with our life's decisions that are to our benefit. So I hope this helps you start that process and try to get rid of these little traps. That's probably why that devil card keeps coming up. Freeing yourself from the lies that others have been saying to you. In my personal opinion, I could be wrong. So I really hope it helps. I think you deserve love and kindness. I think of that for everyone who is generally kind. Go out the way to try to help make the place a little bit better. I'm rooting for you. On the other hand, I'm slowly done with this avocado. didn't realize how green it looks on the screen. I'm gonna take a moment to like take a small break, I guess. I'm just gonna sit here and chill for a little while to see if anyone else wants to do personal readings. But I hope that helps. And if you want to request any more, you're more than welcome to do so. Oops. There we go. I popped out the request window and it was giving me blur. My back hurts. This type of chair doesn't lean all of the way forward like I want to, because I have a tendency to like sit like this. Okay, I do slouch, okay? I kind of sit more like this. But I should be like this, and this chair is so far back, where this would be fine if I really went to sit and relax, and this is like your own gamer chair, you know? Do some gaming or whatnot. But when I type or do anything, I sit like this. And it's kind of hard not to have that kind of back support. But I'm just gonna chill for a little bit before I do like some sort of week ahead type of thing. Alright. Sorry. I'm gonna finish this avocado. In fact, I may take a longer break after the avocado just to like take care of some things. I actually don't have anything to say today. Take a snapshot. This is me being quiet. Okay, I'm all done. I'm going to go ahead and take a break. I'm going to do a few stretches. I'm going to go ahead and use the restroom. And I'll be back with some more tarot. Definitely a week ahead. If y'all want to get some personal requests in, feel free to do so. I'm more than happy to tackle those if you want me to. So I'll be back real soon. I'm back. Thank you for your patience. Let me turn the music down. I still have no verdict on whether I like Post Malone or not. I don't really hate their music. I think their music is fine, but I'm like indifferent to it, and I never experienced that to any band or song before. So I apologize to Post Malone fans. For some reason, I'm just not jiving with it. I don't mind listening to it, but I'm not like in it, you know? Not like Lady Gaga or like Billie Eilish or like anyone else, you know? I'm not like sinking my teeth into it. And I think I don't know what it is that I'm missing. It's just pleasant to listen to. And I feel like maybe that's a disservice, you know, just calling it like a pleasure to listen to. Maybe I need to do some homework. And I apologize to any YouTube VOD watchers. Please don't hate me. Like, if there are some really good music recommendations where I can actually sink my teeth into, do post them in the comments. I'm more than happy for like a gentle education. Please. Okay, so I'm going to switch things up where I'm going to do the general theme for next week and why that is. So it's not just going to be the Oracle card, we're also having the Tarot card participate as well. And I think I would go ahead and divide it by elemental signs again. For everyone who is watching, whether like live or on the VOD. Oh goodness. Oh man, maybe I need some stretching to do this weekend. Maybe I need to do that break card. Yeesh. We're still in Pisces. So water signs are up. If I could shuffle. Shuffling would be great. Okay. No. You know what? You could do better. You could do better. You could give me a better one than that. I just need one card. So it's this one, right? Okay, so it's these two cards. We have two cards. Heart is bleeding and dive into the fire. Okay, so that's what we have. And then I'm going to draw the whys, why we're feeling this way. No. I am tired. My hands are tired. Oh gosh, no! This is why I don't like using that technique. Okay. Okay, it is supposed to be this way. This was on top of this when I picked it up from the floor. And I have a very strong feeling, don't move it. So I'm just not going to move it. So, Two of Pentacles, finances are not in balance, water signs. When it's in reverse for me, you have to look at your budget again, figure out what you can at least cut or like reserve from your spending, or at least postpone it until you have the time to purchase it again. This could be looking at annual payments, making it monthly. This could be looking at where the excess is. It could also be dealing with, it may not be excess spending, it could be the tightening of the belt that may happen because you're dealing with less income than before. It could be that too, and you could be looking at where to pinch your pennies. So it's just talking about that at the moment. Knight of Swords. Let me go ahead and look into this in a more financial terms. Oh, here we go. Okay, so it requires quick action, quick thinking. Take the time to assess the situation right now. Also look for any opportunities that may come up that requires you to swiftly obtain it. Especially when it comes to like taking care of one's finances. It's kind of like spontaneous opportunities. It's like noticing a sale that you never heard of before, but while you're shopping, you see it. You're gonna have to be a lot more spontaneous in taking advantage of that sale and store it for later, because that later is not guaranteed. That kind of situation. So that's what it's asking you to do. Be a little bit more savvy in looking out for such opportunities, coupons, stuff like that. I'm also going to look at anything else that we need to know about the Knight of Swords for for any further advice I could give before we dive into these oracle cards. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Don't be surprised. Don't hesitate to ask questions. This is about going forth with a investigative manner. You know, this is like the detective of the story here, where you need to communicate about finances if you're in partnership with someone about your financial situation. Maybe this is the time to delegate finances to someone else who's a little bit savvier than you, taking care of those type of things. Not by any means denoting your worth at all. It's just that it's a skill set that may be difficult for you, someone else who's able to handle it better, you could communicate or delegate that to them. But communication is key, and it's going to require you to ask questions and investigate to make sure that this comes into balance. So talk to your partner about like how to handle things. Be in true partnership where both of you are able to lock in and like get serious about one's finances. So these are the whys to why we're receiving these cards. You know, we're dealing with finances and needing to communicate and investigate where we stand. So, at least that's what I'm picking up water signs right now. So, here we have heart is bleeding. We have number 12. Oh, I'm sorry, 21. Be kind and compassionate toward yourself. You have become so invested in imposing commitment, standard, belief, fear, or self-image that you have forgotten to notice or value how your heart feels. I'm gonna move this music on. I'm sorry, everyone. There we go. First and foremost, tend to your heart. Acknowledge where you are suffering. Be mindful of the ways you feel exhausted, inauthentic, out of your element, or out of alignment with your values. Perhaps you are spending significant time in an environment that doesn't nourish you, or around people who don't actually know you or want you to thrive. Or you may be hiding your true personality or preferences, not just from others, but also from yourself. It may also be the case that you need to take some downtime to rest, journal, and become aware of your true feelings and desires. Once you take time to listen to yourself, you may discover that you will benefit from making a major change, such as leaving a relationship, study program, or career, or perhaps embarking on a brand new path. Sorry, I'm very stumbling. I'm getting a little tongue-tied, and I'm sorry. Or you might want to stay where you are, but to do so authentically, you need to make some changes in how you show up or interact. And I do believe, because of these cards, it's this one. So we'll break it down a little bit later. You could be operating under the assumption that a relationship or life choice will only work if you completely or partially conceal who you are. That assumption is self-defeating. Here's why. If you choose to stay in a situation without making any changes to how you approach it, you will undoubtedly begin to feel drained. On the other hand, you may abruptly leave the situation before you actually know whether or not it's a good match for you. The only solution is to be transparent and genuine. Have a potentially uncomfortable conversation. State what you need. Open up and let your true feelings and desires show. Set whatever boundaries feel right to you and see what happens. Some situations and relationships will be in harmony with you. Others won't. But you can't know unless you give yourself the opportunity to find out. Have compassion for yourself. Remember your value. Take the time you need to reconnect with your heart. Allow your feelings to be what they are without judging them, and then follow your heart's clear direction. Okay, so we could be in a situation that we thought would be beneficial, and it turned to a situation where it's not, at least in a financial kind of situation. Whether you had left this job or the job left you, or it's not helping you financially the way you thought it is, or maybe what's causing you to spend like these subscriptions, it's fine on paper at first, you're saving money annually, but if you accumulate all these subscriptions, you're still paying the amount that you're supposedly saving. So there's a little bit of a deception that's going on that you have to peel away and really get to the nugget of the truth. And as you're peeling away and getting to that truth of like what is really valuable to you and worthy of your time and money, don't forget that you are valuable with your time and money. That's not what's at question here. It's about like how we take care of things financially. And I totally get that. I've been there before, about like financial management, and difficulties. Sometimes we get so busy with our lives that some things slip away. And we don't keep track of every single little thing that occurs. So, that's totally understandable and valid. That doesn't mean you're less of a person if that happens. So, you are not your own bank account is probably what I need to like say here. You're not your bank account. You're not the numbers, in that deposit. You're not that. You're a real human being with real human emotions. And it's kind of hard to like separate that when you feel a little bit wounded, because you're kind of in this pinch. So acknowledging that you were kind of duped into the situation that everything's hunky-dory and it's okay to let things happen the way it happened. But it does require change. And I think the change is more of communicating what you need change. Not exactly cutting everything off and like shoving it to the side and making a new life or new whatever. I think it's really the communication part here that they're talking about. Let's see what else I could pull here. So do speak up with whoever you need to talk to. Be authentic in that communication, letting them know, hey, I'm struggling here. I do need help. And be willing to like listen to their ideas and like come to some sort of agreement. But it does say with the Knight of Swords, it requires quick thinking and quick action to do so. So sooner than later is probably better for you in this regard before like it kind of goes out the window, beyond your influence. And be gentle with yourself. It's totally okay. It's a totally understandable thing. Everyone goes through this. All the people who are being let go from all these government jobs, all these businesses that are removing their diversity programs, all these universities that are also doing the same and cutting things back because of the lack of spending that they're going to receive. A lot of people are going through this. And a lot of people are going to have to assess their finances. So water signs, if you happen to be those people, you're not alone. Everyone's looking at their piggy banks right now and trying to figure out, how to manage. Let's look into this card. A little bit of a pick-me-up here. If I could get there. Okay, dive into the fire. Let go, transform, rise anew. It is time for you to transform and be reborn. The legendary phoenix ages, wastes away, and dies. Appear certain she will never fly again, move or even take another breath. And then there's a spark, a flame, and a raging fire, and from that fire the phoenix arises. Glorious, glowing, and made of light. Kindle the alchemic fire of transformation now, and enter into it. Let the old die forever and burn away to make room for the new. Clinging desperately to the past will not bring it back, just as dead firewood will not once again become a sapling in spring. Release old conditions relationships, habits, belonging, concepts, paradigms, expectations, approaches, and anything else ready to go. Hi, Themo. Welcome in. Or, I'm sorry, The Modern Death. Hello. Sorry I said it wrong earlier. This could be a comprehensive message, but it could also be a single or specific quality or condition in your life. Your approach to work, for example, or your living situation. Here, it's burning away this misconception that led you into the situation where you must endure this. And letting go this sense of like your value as a person is a money amount. Let's go ahead and end that misconception now, those two misconceptions, and allow to have this rebirth of this new approach to your finances. If you have been feeling joyless or depressed, like we have here, it's time to proactively shake things up. Get honest with yourself about the ideas and paradigms that have shaped your choices in your world. For example, you may have picked up the idea that you had to live close to your family or prepare for a sane, reasonable job that you don't even like. That's one example. Look deeply and identify anything you can crumple up and throw into the flames. Even a single, seemingly simple change, like the shoes you wear or what you have for breakfast, can act as a spark that eventually sets your world on fire. Especially when you question the unexamined assumptions or patterns that have lent themselves to boredom and self-limitation. What if you're not actually the type to wear sensible shoes? Or eat the same old thing for breakfast every day? What if you're someone else entirely? Who is that person? Get curious and find out. Be like the phoenix. Let go of certainty, familiarity, monotony. Be willing to let what is tired and worn out die, even before you are sure what will arise anew. Dive into the fire. You will transform and then rise filled with magnificent light. So I hope that helps you out, water signs. With this situation, once you get a grasp of things and make those changes, you'll be well on your way for better things. I promise you. And if anyone wants to do personal readings, it's totally okay to do it while I do the group readings. You're not really interrupting anything. This is just to pass the time until I have people who ask for personal readings. So if you need them, it's totally okay to request them. I don't mind tackling them in between each readings. I just got done water signs. I will be doing fire signs soon. I'm sorry. Water signs are Cancer, Pisces, and Aquarius. No, I'm sorry. Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. I'm so sorry. Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. So those are the water signs that I have dealt with. I now am going into fire signs. Those will be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. If you want to know what to look into for next week. Or at least in general. What should be on your radar at this moment. Okay. Okay, fire signs. Okay, let me see if I could do this cleanly. It never comes out as one card. never comes out as one card. Oh, ads may be coming up soon. I will not do... I will not interpret during ad time, so there's no panic or no reason for you to panic. So don't worry about it. Okay, I know it's not this. Okay, so it's this one. So fire signs, we have herein lies wisdom. So that's what is waiting for you after the ads. And we're going to get the why of it soon. Okay. Ten of Wands, Eight of Wands, a lot of responsibility movement. Let me think. I know what these two cards are. I'm just trying to figure out, in general, what responsibilities we're talking about. Because there's no way I'm going to find that in the Advanced Tarot. The Advanced Tarot is just going to tell me further about what these cards are. I'm just trying to figure out what these burdens are. And I think it comes down to trying to make a choice and things are coming up fast. And things are moving in a very fast, progressive way, too. I just wanted to double check myself. I shouldn't like do this myself, but I'm just going to. Okay, so there's a lot of quick decisions you have to make. Okay, fire signs, welcome back from the ads. So what I have here is the Ten of Wands and the Eight of Wands. Ten of Wands means that there's a lot of burdens on your plate, a lot of responsibility that you're juggling right now. We have this person literally just juggling all these wands and just trying to like hold everything up here. But I think it's not just all the responsibilities that were on your plate, but there's a decision that you have to make, which comes down to this Eight of Wands. It's requiring you to make quick decisions that requires your attention at this moment, type of thing. And you're trying to make sure that you are making the right decision for yourself at this time, because you do essentially hold the world up on your shoulders. Goodness, that was hard to say. Trying to hold the world up on your shoulders. And it's just kind of difficult to make sure that the decision that you're making is the right one in order to move forward. That is beneficial not only for yourself, but also those around you, especially if you are like the one holding the keys so to speak, the one who has a lot of responsibility down. You're the type of person that have a lot of moving parts that you're tasked to manage. Whether you're a homemaker, whether you are a business manager, or you're like a very well qualified person in your position that everyone goes to for assistance or help, or like whatever it is. You're the person that come to because you're the one who makes things happen. And you are tasked with so many things. So you are like highly qualified in tackling these things. But something had come up, which I'm not privy to know, that requires some decisions to make. That requires your attention, and it's pretty fast. So this is the why we're getting this card, fire signs. In general, this is asking you to like trust your gut, trust your intuition, because you know what is right. And we're going to dive into that here. Sorry, Doja, but this is not the vibe for today. I know that's like a fire, spicy energy, but like, not right now. Okay. Fire signs. Oop. Wrong one. Herein lies wisdom, or herein lives wisdom. Listen, retreat, trust your intuition. You have access to the wisdom you seek. The great goddess has bestowed upon you abundant gifts of knowing, seeing, divining the truth, and hearing the clear inner guidance that will serve you best. She has also graced you with an ability to swiftly cut away illusions, distractions, and tired old conditions you no longer need. It matters not what dwells in the darkness. You needn't see the pathways that wind through the silhouetted mountaintops or the shaded half of the moon. The moon goddess and the power within you will illuminate all you need to know to prevail and thrive. So listen deeply and take action in this moment. The following moments will take care of themselves. You have the power to know. Decisively pull that power back to you now, or claim it roundly if you have never done so in the past. Your intuitive prowess is a part of you. It is yours. Feel it deep within you, stand in it, own it, wield it, and radiate it. In order to recognize your clear inner knowing, it may be helpful or even necessary to pause and retreat from the outside world for a time, perhaps a minute, hour, or day. If you feel an impulse to rush, remember that time is not fixed in the way humans generally perceive it to be. Even though it feels like you got to make a decision now, you actually do have the time to think about it. It is responsive and fluid. When you expect it to be in short supply, it will be. But when you expect it to stretch to accommodate you, you will vanquish the illusion that time is your master. And you will instead take your rightful place as the master of time. Just like Link. So find yourself a quiet and soothing place where you can consciously create some space around the situation at hand. Close your eyes, take a breath, take another breath. Relax your body and enter into the silence. Once you still your mind and relax your body sufficiently, the answer or direction will be there. You will know what to do, and you will know how to do it with the greatest possible effectiveness and ease. I had to up the brightness here for a moment. I I know as fire signs love to go, 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 do things. It's asking us to sit. We don't like sitting. But this is asking you to do so. It won't take long. And most of you do have a really good gut check, especially Sagittarians. You have a really good gut you can check. Like get in within yourself and like know what you need to do. I mean, Leos and Aries, you can too. You just need to sit and think. You know what is right. You know what is best for you. You know it internally. You just need to sit down and like find it. And like, dwell on it. Analyze it. Make it known to you. Because just rushing around trying to do things is not going to help you conquer this. You could get all the opinions of the world, but ultimately you have to make the decision. That's right. I'm out of coffee. So I hope that helps out, fire signs. Oh, I'm glad that's resonating with you, Brie. I'm glad that is. And good luck. I think you got this. Okay. Any personal requests before I move on with stuff? Earth signs are going to be next, and then we have air signs. I have a tendency to go really fast, so if people feel like I'm leaving them behind, I apologize. And it's totally okay to interrupt me with like a personal reading. I have plenty of time today. In fact, is it okay I go off and get a little bit of a bev? I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I think I really need it for my voice. And I'll come back with some more tarot. Okay? Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Hello. So just in case you all miss out during the Arie, I don't mind taking on some more personal readings. If you don't need personal readings, I'm going to change this lighting here. There we go. That's a little bit better. Eventually it will be summer and I don't have to worry about that. Wait, no, wait. Tomorrow I have to spring forward. Oh no. You guys are gonna have issues with me over there across the pond because I'll be moving my time forward tomorrow. I'm so sorry. We do this silly thing here in the States where we have like daylight savings time, where we change the clock just to accommodate people who are farming. And yeah. There was for a while to like kind of ban daylight savings time, or at least make it where daylight savings time is more of a permanent thing where we're just like 1 hour ahead of everyone, and everyone's like, that may not be actually smart, but it's probably better than just, you know, doing this kind of silly hop forward and then hop back that we do. So, sorry. I'm sorry that, you know, this is coming up tomorrow and I totally forgot. I'm forgetting like a lot of things. Since there's no personal requests streaming in, let me go ahead and hop into Earth signs here. Oh, excuse me. There we go. So we're just going to continue on trucking along. What was that? It just TP'd. It didn't even shuffle. Okay, there we go. Okay. It's one of these cards. I just got to figure out which one it was. Don't know if it's this one or not. Yeah, okay, so it's that one. So we have love all, trust a few for Earth signs. Okay. That's human error. I'm saying that's human error. Is that two? No, that's one. We need one more. You know, doing this may be the gentle way to keep card stock not deforming. I got three. Okay. I just need one. It's just the middle. Okay. Oop. Okay. And it was the Queen of Cups. Okay. This is beneficial we have the Five of Pentacles upside down. Usually the Five of Pentacles, when it is upside up, is a rough patch financially, where you're asking for charity, or you need charity and you're looking for it. You know, you're dealing with extreme financial constraints. Here, that is available for you. You know, it's just a matter of reaching out and letting the person know, or the institution know, that you need it. And it may come from someone who is willing to impart such charity, because they are very empathetic and caring and kind. And also someone who is very understanding on a very emotionally intelligent kind of way. Able to be compassionate. Because they had gone through a similar experience, or at least have the empathy to understand, you know, the hardships of life. And able to help lessen those burdens. So it's letting you know, while we're doing this reading, that there is a place or a person you could reach out that's willing to give you the support that you're looking for while you're navigating through this situation. So that's wonderful to hear, Earth signs. Also, I love this very gothic look that we have here. And I'm just going to show it up to the camera real soon. It's reminding me of someone. In fact, it may be better in a different light. Here we go. Love all, trust a few. Refuse to be controlling or be controlled. If you mistake universal love, Earth signs, for unquestioning trust, I almost said trust, trust, there will surely be those who will happily take advantage of your confusion of the two. You can tune into the eternal nature of a soul, one's inherent beauty and worthiness, without agreeing to go along with everything someone asks, assumes, or appears to require. I like to think of it as a smile and nod. Sure. That's right, Karen. Yeah. You could go and do that. No. Don't stop. Wait, hold on. You know, you could definitely do that. You could definitely do that, Earth signs. It's totally okay. I know that sounds really petty, okay? But you're allowed to do that. It does make sense to love everyone unconditionally if you can manage it. At the same time, you need not let everyone in your inner circle of trust. Some people you want to keep at a distance. Still others may want to bar from your life completely. I think we know why. This is not a perfect science. No two people are alike. Every relationship is a negotiation of power and an exploration of what feels right and safe to you at this particular time. The older you get, the more experience and wisdom you will gain. But as long as you interact with others, you will not be immune by the attentions of those who will seek to dominate, manipulate, and control. There may also be times when you are the manipulative party, the abuser, the narcissist, or the boundary crosser. If you find yourself dismissing the previous statement outright, stop, read it again, or listen to it again. Ask yourself, have I received such feedback lately? If so, Did I refuse to entertain the possibility that I could be mistreating someone? Have I reflected upon my actions and asked myself whether or not I was acting with kindness and integrity? As the wise Bard wrote, love all, trust a few, do wrong to none. Admitting mistakes makes you stronger, not weaker. Desperately clinging to a vision of yourself as right or perfect is like quicksand, pulling you further and further from honest connection and personal evolution. And even though the same is true for others, mistakes or weaknesses do not condemn a person or deem them eternally unworthy of love. This does not mean you must give your precious time and attention to everyone and a precious time and attention to anyone and everything or everyone. I'm sorry. This is so important for you to hear, and I'm messing it up. This does not mean you must give your precious time and attention to anyone and everyone who ask for it. Protect your energy by following the humble and intuitive voice within. Enforce the boundaries that feel right to you, whether those boundaries will serve to modify a relationship or end it entirely. Love all, send your love out universally, but trust no more than a few. And harm no one. Honestly examine your own behavior and even question your own, perhaps overly flattering self-image when appropriate. And don't hesitate to amend or permanently terminate any relationship you choose. You do not need to defend or explain your choice. The fact that you have chosen is enough. Okay, so some of it is kind of lining up here, but it's just like a tip of the iceberg of like what this message is. Again, these are why cards, why we're receiving this message. And I'll do that after the break. I'm going to give myself more time to like drink some coffee and also like adjust this light here. Okay, I'm just going to stick to this light. But I'll break it down as much as I can for you after these messages. In the meantime, I'm going to figure out why I'm so tongue-tied. And I don't think it's allergies or like my mouth is dry. Or it could be my mouth is dry, but I tend to have better mastery of language here. It is Saturday. It's under Cancer. But my Mercury is in Cancer. It should be conjuncting. It makes no sense. Oh, unless it's electional, not natal. What's happening here? The transit moon is trining the transit sun. It's squaring Venus. And it's conjuncting Mars. Venus rules like Taurus and Libra. My Libra is in the 7th house. My Taurus is in No, I'm sorry. Libra doesn't rule my 7th. What am I thinking? Libra is not in my 7th. Taurus is in my 6th, which deals with work. Which doesn't really apply here. Cancer is 8th house. Leo is in 9th. Virgo is in 10th. 11th house is my Libra. I really don't know why I'm like stumbling over my words. I think it's just my mouth being dry. I have no excuses. I'm gonna drink some more of this. Okay. Earth signs, if you're Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Let's go ahead and break this down. I'm pretty sure it's very straightforward. This world currently, right now, is starting to draw lines in the sand. And a lot of people are choosing what line to cross, what line not to cross, where they file, which group they decide to go with, whether it's political or social political or like whatever category that is, you know, they're starting to like move into these categories, in these groups, in these certain think tanks, in these philosophies and ideas, and being very open about these thoughts and ideas, even though they're not exactly pleasant and wonderful thoughts to have. They're being very open about it, which helps you, Earth signs, to figure out how close you want them in your inner circle. You can be civil. It's okay to be civil, but that doesn't mean they need to be your best friend. Okay, you're allowed to curate and cultivate your personal space, because it's about time and resources of your emotional and mental well-being. Your emotional well-being, your mental well-being. Some of those people are not worthy of that time in your personal life. I certainly would not want to hang out with someone who is very hateful. Okay. Especially if they're very hateful to the type of people that you happen to be part of. It's okay to be civil and be kind. Alright. And like do what you need to do in these environmental like situations. But like you don't need to have them in your personal space, in your personal time. Now there are other people where you can. And I think this is what it's coming down to, is finding out or reaching out to those people who are very compassionate and kind that you can like bring into your lives and like have it closer to your orbit. And I think that's what they're saying here, Earth signs. Also, the whole admitting mistakes part. Let's go ahead and break that down too. I don't think all of you Earth signs go out of your way to do harm. I really don't think so. This is just me being like giving other people the benefit of the doubt here. But the idea of like you made some mistakes, which is why you are kind of in this situation where you're needing like a helping hand, you know, a little bit of someone like reaching down to like pull you up kind of situation. So that's what they're mentioning with this Five of Pentacles. It could be financial. It could be like a resource, that you are lacking and you're just needing to like speak up and like obtain it and ask someone to be able to help you out in that situation. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to like find that and acknowledge that, okay, I'm sorry I wasn't able to do this, or I'm not able to get this part. You know, it's totally okay to like admit some wrongs. And honestly, I don't think it's entirely wrong if you happen to fall into this under poverty line. You know, it's okay. It's not really your fault. It's just being willing to put your pride aside to allow someone to like help you lift you back up where you can manage from there, you know. And also because this world is so judgy, it's okay to not let everyone know about this if they're going to maneuver and work their way to like try to hurt you because of this stigma that comes around it. You know, they're a very snooty, judgmental kind of person that will put you down because you're in this situation. I apologize for the thing there. But like, not everyone needs to know, because not everyone is going to be like this, you know, going to be like this really kind, compassionate person that's willing to pull you up, you know. So it's okay to like pick and choose who's privy to know. It's kind of like the different layers of, like Marvel's shield. Okay, there's a certain level of clearance that you have. And as you work your way up through that clearance, there's some information you're privy to know. And that happens in most intelligent institutions. You have that level of clearance to obtain this information so that way you could do the work that you need to do. And it's about trying to figure out who is allowed or who is privy with this knowledge. So that way you can keep these kind people in your orbit so that you can like help you out, and keep the other people who are just going to do you harm because they're so judgy, like kind of keep them aside. Not necessarily cutting them off unless you really need to. Okay. But at least like give them that hands-off approach of like, okay, I'm going to keep my distance from you type of it. So, I hope that makes sense, Earth signs. I don't think you're necessarily impoverished. I think it's just a resource that you're having a hard time obtaining. And that could be a educational resource. Sometimes pentacles show up as means of obtaining skills for a profession or skills for a trade. Okay. Sorry, that's my heater. It's going to be like this way. It's going to be this way because of spring. So, I wish you good luck, Earth signs. It just really speaks that most of you have really big hearts, that you want to shower everyone with love and care. I'm just sorry that the world is not like that for you. Hi, sweet and sour crowd. Welcome in. I'm almost done with the group readings. I have air signs left. I got done with water signs, fire signs, and earth signs. Oh, good. Well, hopefully this won't be too loud. So, Geminis, Libras, and Aquariuses. You're finally up. Yeah. Would it be nice that everyone has a home, everyone is fed, everyone is clothed, everyone is warm? That's what earth signs want to do. Deep down, make sure everyone's provided for. Okay, air signs. Yeah. I have siblings who are earth signs. My sister is a major earth sign. She's a Virgo with a Taurus ascendant, and I have a brother who's also a Virgo, and he has a Leo ascendant. No, not really, though there are times where she really just wants to like live on her own, which I don't blame her. She loves having her own space. Just wish the economy would be so accommodating, you know? I don't blame her one bit. Oh God. Oh my God. Okay, let me. Okay, if it's not coming out that way, I'm gonna try the other way, which is just shuffling until I feel like I'm done, and then I'm just gonna take it from the top. It's important for Taurus having their own space of safety. Yeah, you know, that makes sense. Having their own space. And also very sensual kind of people. Taurus people. And a little bit of the ascendant people. You'd be surprised, like, yeah, they like things that like have quality. Quality food, quality clothes. But quality in the sense that it works with their skin. Like it works with their senses. Very sensory people. Like for those who has the ascendant, not exactly in the sign, they kind of forego luxury for comfort. Especially for Virgos. If it's a Virgo with a Taurus ascendant. Shows how much I really know my sister. Virgos just want comfort. With that luxury. I wish my siblings were clean. I'm sorry. I may be revealing a little too much. Yeah, like, I hope they don't feel offended if I do end up like giving them ways to help them organize. Or at least like bookshelves, you know, give them shelving, stuff to hang things up, you know, so that way they could organize it themselves. You know, stuff like that. But my siblings actually like games. Okay, so I have a feeling. Okay. So air signs, proud and pitiless. Proud and pitiless. We'll break that down in a sec. And also this is the cover. Very much the queen from Snow White. A little bit of disdain, a little bit of, you know, pride. I'm a Gemini too, so I could kind of see that in myself. Computer Racer, thank you so much for the follow. If you want to chill, relax, and lurk, you're more than welcome to do so. Ah! What was that? That came out of my mouth. Okay. Okay, so we're having imposter syndrome. So tarot cards, when they're facing me, that is... Okay. Gemini energy bringing on the chaos. Okay, so we have more than two cards to explain the why we're getting this oracle card. So we have Strength upside down, or in reverse. We have Three of Cups in reverse. And then we have the Queen of Swords upright, which that could be us, us air signs using that quality within us to like combat these type of things. Let me look up what he means by the reverse. He means by the reverse? What? I didn't know it was a he. What the heck? What am I saying? Today has been odd for me. It's been a good day. Don't get me wrong. It's been a good day. I finally have a chance to like relax. But I'm saying things out of pocket that I should say I'm stumbling over my words, and I really shouldn't be. Okay, so yeah, it is imposter syndrome. We're experiencing lack of self-confidence. That totally explains it. Which doesn't really lend into the proud and pitiless, but I guess everything shall be revealed soon. At least some of us who ring a bell. Oh no, that would be very loud and distracting for a lot of people. I'm not the only person living here. I'm sure a lot of people will be coming into this room like, why are you ringing a bell? Are you okay? Ringing a bell in this house is like calling the Rohirrim, Gondor sends aid, that kind of thing. Oh, that's right. Finding community. Okay. So what part of this are we calling in? Yep, I went too far. Because it's not just wit. Okay, this may require like full-on reading. Oh yes, that's my book. I wrote a book called The Doppelganger Queen. It's out now, if you want it. And everyone, this whole week there's a boycott on Amazon, so you can order it through Four Horsemen Publications. Even though it is a mid-sized publishing company, it's run by a very small crew, and it's a small indie publishing house. So I do suggest supporting them as you are boycotting Amazon. Also, there's other ways to order the book if you so wish. And you can still, do your reviews on Amazon for those who's like still into Amazon. Or you could ask for it in your library. It is available as an ebook if you love reading your library books on a tablet. You could totally do that. So it's available there. It's also available to purchase if your library is willing to purchase it. Just like let people know. It's just been released back in December. So like 3 months ago. So really, really fresh, dark fantasy book. Not a lot of people know about it. Because it's just a fresh start. I'm just getting things started with my series. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Second book is already in the house, in the publishing house. Currently, it's under review by the editors. and I'm working on the first draft of the third book. So that's where I am right now. So very exciting times. Oh, now you know why. Now you know why. Yeah, there is an Amazon thing going on, and kudos to your mom. You know, like hopping on the boycott train. Let's go, mom. But yeah, just in case y'all don't know, there's a whole huge boycott thing going on. There's also like a Tesla boycott too. So yeah, very cool. Okay, so we're feeling unsupported, feeling a little bit of lacking confidence with this reverse strength. Air signs, Geminis, Libras, and Aquariuses, you know, and it's coming from this lack of community with the Three Cups upside down. This lack of, you know, support that we normally have, that we usually seek. It's kind of like coming, you know, the rug is being pulled underneath our feet. What we can usually rely on to like give us a sense of comfort or buoyancy or support is kind of like dwindling. And this could be like a social media group, you know, like Facebook, where you realize, oh no, this is the place I can no longer be there. Ooh, I'm so sorry. It could also be like internally in the family, where you have been trying to like get support from your family and you're just not really seeing that, and it's just really difficult to find that. I know, like I had mentioned earlier in this stream, you know, a lot of people who are leaving, or at least dealing with the layoffs from their government positions, are getting this feedback for their families and friends that like it was justified to cut spending, and they're feeling like, but I'm not a waste of time. You know, it's that type of erasure that everyone is just feeling from their communities. And because social media is allowing this freedom of speech, where they're allowing hateful people to like run off marginalized groups like the LGBTQ, it's kind of hard to find your people when it's kind of like a slap in the face, you know, every single time you hop on. Layoffs across industries. Yeah, not just government, but also sciences, like universities are like cutting back. Part of it is funding. Part of it is funding. Whether they are going to give funding or not, like Department of Education is gone. IRS and the Social Security is currently being like, you know, renovated. You know, anything that is federal is currently being gutted. Yeah. You just took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, being gutted right now. And yeah, it is a little bit messy, but I don't think it's full of fraud as they think it is. It's a little bit messy. I think that's what it is. It does need to be audited, but I don't think it should be to this extreme. But that is my opinion. So this is where we're feeling, Geminis, that we're feeling this erosion in our communities, where we're just not getting that buoyancy and support. So it comes down to being a little bit of an investigator. I was reading this like either today or like yesterday, where no, it was just this morning, talking about how LGBTQ people across the board that used to have Facebook to continue their local connections have to find other means to connect with their community. And that means getting away from the virtual spaces and coming up physically to their community centers. And there are established ones in their area or in their city. If you live in a rural area, there's probably like a person that you know in your town that probably are like part of, the community you just probably didn't know. Or like set one up, so that way you can be that little beacon of light for others. Right now, Blue Sky is kind of like a nice replacement for Twitter, but it's nowhere near the local information and activity center like Facebook was. Facebook has become this virtual bulletin board of local affairs, and a lot of like those in the LGBTQ sees that as a way of creating your own group, your own niche group, and like do things together, have fun things together. I know for sure, like, I used Facebook a while back to like get engaged with my Pride event and connect with those I never knew that were like me, and went to this kickball, have a kickball team and had fun, and like tear muscle or ligament or whatever, but actually have fun with people who are just as queer and gay and slay as I am. Oh, they're probably slayer than I am, if I'm gonna be real. But like, it's gonna be some time to like suss out who is Stop. I'm not that slay. Let me go ahead and delay the ads here for a moment. So let me go ahead and read up about the Queen of Swords here. Queen of Swords is a quick thinker, organized, perceptive, and able to cut through the confusion to arrive at the truth or essence of a person or situation. They represent the water part of the swords, and because of this watery part, she is able to have compassion in her judgments, allows for human nature and unresolved emotional issues when considering people's motivations in acting a certain way, aka like a criminal mind investigator. You're able to take into account the psychology of the human, condition while you're sussing out the truth of the matter, making clear judgments. Able to combine sympathy and rational thought. Here we go. They need to know why, what, when, where, and who. Until they make sense of their circumstances, they could find sleep at night difficult. Which, yeah, I could see that. They usually have a reliable memory, exceptional conversation, or is an exceptional conversationalist, enjoy social occasions, naturally curious about people, aka able to organize and create social gatherings, or organize for such things. Very much like the Libras, in our air sign collective. Or maybe, Geminis too. So if we are going to take the time to like find our group, find our confidence within ourselves, it's time to get organized. Try to create, these communities. If we can't find it, yeah, that's true. Us Geminis do have a tendency to undersell ourselves. I'm one of those. But like, create your community. If you can't find it, create it. And you're going to have to find who's who and organize it. And that's what it's coming down to, is to socialize and make it happen. And we're going to learn about this more with the Slay card here. This is probably the slayest card in the whole deck. It's really giving drag queen in the best way. In the best way. It's like peak fire. Oh, I'm glad it's resonating. I'm glad it works. I feel this too. I have been feeling a little bit adrift because of this lack of community that I'm feeling. I've been needing to be part of the group because I wanted to like vent about things and have someone I could like really talk to, because I'm not finding that really in my family. Like my family's my family. They're very supportive. They care about me. But like they're not like totally in the know of the issues. You know? Alright. Oracle card. Speak your truth. Speak your truth. Stand up for yourself. Wow. Okay. Now's not a time for compassion or compromise. Do not seek to demonstrate how easygoing, permissive, or accommodating you are. Whoa. Okay. On the other hand, there is probably no need to be rude. No need to be rude? Okay. Rudeness is often a response to feeling resentful, which in turn is a response to believing that someone else holds power over you. And you must never believe such a thing. Okay, I get that. Being rude is showing that the other person actually has a better hand than you. That's probably revealing too much. Okay, I get that. I get that. To do so would be to willingly and unnecessarily place yourself in a position of weakness. Instead, behave like a queen and simply stand up for yourself. Clearly state what you require in this situation, including what you know you deserve and what you absolutely will not tolerate. Love boundary setting. This deck loves boundary setting. I was almost rude for no reason the other day, and I stopped myself because why am I feeling this? Exactly. And that's probably because we're feeling a little bit inadequate or like feeling insecure. Then be ready to enforce those conditions and boundaries, even if doing so means you must make a bold move, such as taking legal action, resigning, or walking away. Truth. Do not be drawn into manipulative games that seek to destabilize your clear sense of self. Be vigilant. Do not allow a certain tone of voice, a subtle facial expression, or sneakily chosen words to cause you to question whether you are justified in making reasonable requests or demands. AKA, don't let them being passive-aggressive get to you as you're enforcing the boundaries that you rightfully need to set. And you don't have to play their manipulation game. You can say goodbye, Felicia. Be aware that past conditioning can undermine your personal authority. For example, if you were raised to believe you should always smile and be nice, oh God, that's me. You will worry that asserting your power will upset people or cause them to dislike you. Yeah, this, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I feel that way, yeah. The truth is, it may upset people. It may cause them to dislike you. But you must learn to override your fear of these things by valuing yourself more than you value the thoughts and opinions of others. Okay, I get that. Now is a precious opportunity to practice. Wow. Set the clear intention to be true to yourself in the situation and in all situations that follow. Every time you exercise your power in this way, you will feel emboldened. Your energy field will light up with your inherent spiritual force. You will learn to seek out situations that will nourish you and reject situations that deplete you. Over time, you will find it easier and easier to take unapologetic action on your own behalf, and your star will continue to ascend. Okay. AKA, it's about like setting boundaries of community. In setting boundaries of, okay, you are like homophobic, then you don't come into the gay club. You don't come into the pony club if you're going to be hateful like this. Sorry. You're not allowed to be here because you can't handle it. You're under 21. Goodbye. Come back when you stop acting like a child. So that's what I'm taking away from this whole thing about like you find your own people, you organize, and you set those boundaries. And you continue to speak your truth. Because people are going to be hateful. People are going to be hateful. And you don't have to be mean or nasty, okay, to like enforce your boundaries. But you can just be stern. You don't have to budge. You don't have to make accommodations for these people that never want to accommodate you in the first place. And I think it's giving me a little bit of a push to speak up a little bit more about like how I feel about things and how I perceive about things. So I'm going to really take this with me and really think about it over the weekend. And yeah, this really speaks to me. There's a story. Ads are going to kick in. Yeah, it is a wonderful message to reflect on. And I think it's a very strong message, not just to air signs, but like anyone in a marginalized community, in creating a space that is meant for you, meant for you people who need to get away from the world that is not kind and accommodating. So that way you could just chill. Yeah, I think when it comes to Geminis, there's a tendency of not being... Libras have a tendency to be very judicial. Okay, being the mediators. Geminis, because we're so communicative, we kind of want to be nice to everyone so we could continue our conversations with others. That sort of type of thing. Welcome back! Welcome back. I feel like Geminis are kind and nice to others so that way we could continue to have conversations with others. I think that's what it really comes down to with Geminis. I feel like Libras are more associated with being the mediators than anything. I'm not forgetting about you, Aquarius people. You probably feel this way also. Probably not as strongly as, the two of us. Because you Aquarius people really do desire new things in the first place, and probably, creating your own community, like your own fan club, is probably another way of going about it. In fact, let me go ahead and take a step back. those who are geeks, not necessarily like part of the LGBTQ, like if you are a fan of a certain thing, like I'm a fan of Star Wars, I'm a fan of Star Trek, there are some people who would so poo-poo over these franchises to the point that became politicized. And sometimes you need to create your own space that is supportive to like say, yeah, we like the newer stuff because it really, hits me hard. It hits me in the feels, and I love it. And if that's what you need to do, create your own fan club, go for it. And be sure that don't allow the other people who wants to blow your house down, don't let them in. Because they want to blow your house down. I don't care if they are technically a fan where they had watched all the movies or like read all the comic books or read all the books or whatever, if they're the type of fan that likes to minimize or destroy whatever it is, they're not a fan. They're just a consumer. A fan is someone who just loves it. They may be educated in it, they may be well versed in it, but are they a fan? In my mind, they're not. So, create your own pony club, if you will. All of you who are, air signs, because you're needing that. You're needing the space to where you could talk. You're needing the space to like socialize. You're probably the most social group of all the astrological signs. Everyone could survive without communicating, but not us. We need our trivia. We need our trivia. We need to socialize. We need to talk. But not too much because, my introvertness, can only handle so much. But like online spaces, that needs to happen too. So find your people. And if you can't find your people on the spaces that you normally frequent, that's the word, frequent, create one. Reddit's a great place. God, I can't believe in this day and age Reddit is better. What? I lost so many people. My viewer count went down. I lost so many people from that statement. I can't believe it. Valid though. Like, no, she's too far gone. We can't save her. She said the thing. God. Unfortunately, I ran out of time to do personal readings. But what readings I did, I am so happy I'm able to do that for you, and I hope that it is enlightening and insightful. Eventually this will come up on YouTube, and hopefully you YouTube people will find it very helpful and useful. Oh, thank you, Sweet and Sauerkraut, for the compliment. Thank you. So I'm gonna end it here. No raid today. We're just gonna chill out with some music. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I hope you stay safe and take care of yourselves. And watch out for each other as we all go through this thing together. Take care. Bye-bye. And you too, Sweet and Sauerkraut. And everyone who's watching. Bye-bye. Oh, it will help if I turn on the music. There we go. Okay, enjoy.